Om. 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 Sahana vavatu, sahana bhunaktu, saha viryankaravavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu, ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Just wanted to check, do you all want to just refresh the Patanjali Yoga Sutras one more time? Or shall we continue with the Gita? Just let me know.
I think it's good to refresh once again, Brahmaraj.
Okay, just give me a second. Yeah, so I think we'll run through all the slides once and then we can do Manana on this. Then Percy G can add on if he wants to share some more. And I think each of us will also share our understanding of what we've understood. So are all of you able to read the slides, or do you want me to read the slides through?
I can read this very clear, Brahmaraj.
Yeah. Okay.
Didi, please read now. It is so nice in your voice.
Fine. So Patanjali Yoga Sutras is the science of consciousness. Yoga is the path or journey from individual consciousness to universal consciousness. Oneness, that is samadhi, you become a bundle of virtues. Yoga is union with divine, God or self. Now, chitta, yoga and samadhi. Chitta vrittis or modulations in the mind space. Yoga is harmony of body, breath, mind, intellect, memory, ego and the self. Samadhi is pure consciousness, equanimous state of mind. So there are 4 padas in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. The first pada is Samadhi pada. There's the spiritual oneness, talks of spiritual oneness. Whereas the second sadhana pada talks about the practices. Third vibhuti pada talks about the powers and the siddhis one gets. And then finally is the kaivalya pada, which talks of supreme independence. So we have chitta, yoga and samadhi. Percy ji, can you just explain about chitta one more time? I know you had talked about the chitta, but you'll have to unmute yourself.
Yes, I've just done that. Yeah.
Yes.
So, chitta is individual consciousness. Like we said, the bliss.
Like the jiva.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
jiva, which we call it. And by following the path of yoga, yoga is the one that will take you from individual consciousness to universal consciousness by following the path of samadhi. So samadhi is your destination. What we said, that it's the union of the body, mind, self, where you become one with the divine. So the pathway is explained here completely. That through the pathway of yoga, here Patanjali is very clear that there is a slight difference between yoga and yoga, because even when I came into part 1 course, my belief of yoga was what I used to see, the stretches, the warm-ups being done. I had no knowledge that abhyasa is also part of yoga, even when I came into art of living. Even when I first did my first advanced course, I had no knowledge that this scriptural knowledge is also a part of yoga. So yoga, mostly all over the world, it is what you see people doing in stretches and rotations and asanas in parks. So that was the slight difference that is there.
Yeah.
Then if you go to the next slide, it will show you the how. So yoga is also abhyas and vairagya, which I realized much later that the scriptural knowledge is also part of it. And dispassion can be had by going into samadhi. The next slide then shows that abhyasa is of what? So then that comes to yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar in the first phase. So that is all part of chapter 2, the sadhana part that is that we take up in Patanjali Yoga Sutras. And the first chapter deals with Vairagya, how to do it. There are 2 methods. One is upper and par, going beyond the ego state. So upper Vairagya, in that then there is classifications of the different types of samadhis which are there. And then we talked about Vitark, Vichar, Anand, Asmita. Vitark is where you have an object in front of you, the right object, like the sun setting, and the seer and the scenery become one. So that way, or when you are doing tratak in Buddhism, like you are on the flame of a candle, you are concentrating on that. And then from that also you become one with the flame. So that will also lead you to samadhi. So these are the various ways by which you go into samadhi, which is a thought. Like Gurudev takes you into hollow and empty processes in the advanced course, or many a times he takes you through Om Namah Shivaya jap, chanting of Om Namah Shivaya. And then end period where there is stillness. You know, when we do the higher advanced courses, which are of 7 days and 10 days, the gap between the guided meditation processes, each guidance that is given, whatever Gurudev says, in between there is a bigger gap. And even at the end, there is a lot of silence. That silence is taking you into samadhi when nothing is being said. Then Anand is the experience you get when you are in a satsang, after being in knowledge, after meditating, when you are doing bhajan kirtan, you suddenly get up and dance of your own volition. And that is the Trinity within you that I talked about. That see, just now you are listening to me and I am talking. So you are just sitting. There is no physical activity. If wherever you are sitting, a madman would come chasing you with a knife, what would happen? To save your life, you would just run away. So there you would be mentally frozen and physically you would be running. But during music, when music is being played, then both body is responding to the rhythm, लयबत्ता जिसे कहते हैं, and so it's listening to the music, the mind is listening to it, and the body is flowing in the rhythm of the music. So when this body-mind complex dissolve into each other, then the Jivatma has got no other, nothing else it can do but to merge into this. And that is how you become Trimurti. So Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh is within you. That is what it is talking about, the experience you get, divine experiences that you get. You smell something, you fragrance, you see a light, all these are experiences. And Asmita is like finally away from this world where I am somebody, all the labels that you apply, all those labels, I am somebody gets changed into I am nobody. And then from that, you simply jump over. Asmita is that state where you finally jump over into I am everybody. And that happens in Parvairagya. So even in this, where we talked about upper Vairagya, there is Savichar with thoughts. And then finally the Nirvichar is the thoughtless state, the state of void. And then in that state, when you have, there is another slide of Tivra Saveg and Ishwar Pranidan. Maybe it comes later or so. Now there is another slide in the hierarchy chart only, where the Tivra Saveg that I explained, which is coming in the later sutras, and plus Ishwar Pranidan. That makes you jump into that Nirvichar or Nirvikalp Samadhi. And then you go into that, that's divine shower, Dharma Meg as we call it. The shower of grace flows on you. There's a shower of energy from your Sahasrara chakra to the chakras down below. So that is that. You can go to the previous slides, which are there in order. So this was the one where we talked about the first sutra, Yoga, Atha Yoga Anusasanam. I explained what Atha means now, right now. And that now is when you have, I spoke in the last 2 days, that when we were doing our TTC phase 1, at that time, Gurudev said, you listen to Astavakra Gita at least twice, 33 CDs, and Narad Bhakti Sutras. So now Narad Bhakti Sutras, you know, it is Prem Ki Parakashta. So it is teaching you all about love and devotion. And Astavakra Gita, as I said, even the first 5 principles which are there in the very first chapter is all to do with compassion, love, truth, etc. So that when you already have this knowledge, when you know that you are not just this gross body, but you will exist at 7 different levels, then you are ready. When you do Niswat Seva, then you are ready. When you are full of devotion, then you are ready to receive this higher knowledge, as it is called. So Atha means now. Now you are ready to, you have given up all those debating which is there. Like when we were doing Bhagavad Gita, earlier we talked about the different sampradayas which are there. And the Nath, Gorakhnath, Maschendranath Samprada, we'll talk about Shiva. Then there is another Vaishnav, they will talk about the Vaishnavites, will talk about the Vishnu Parampara. So there may be some amount of differences in opinions, and they get into highly intellectual debates, which Ramraji had taken one chapter in which she called it Vadas of 4 different types. And in that also, like, we have crossed that state of debates. We are no more into the debating. We are following one lineage where we accept. Like in this, we are following Guru's Parampara, whatever knowledge Guruji has given, and we are following Bhagavad Gita, and whatever is the scriptural knowledge is the truth, we accept is that. There is no debate on that whatsoever. Now we are ready, Atha Yoga Anusasanam. So that self-discipline is there. Now the rules will follow. And then we may move to the second, where we said Yoga Chit Vritta. And yoga is what? No, just go down below where yoga was explained. And we talked about the yam niyam. And then this was very important because if you remember, in yoga, we did talk about in the yamas, in the those who have done your Sayam 1, there you have talked about what is yama. And we talked about yama being what? So ahimsa, so violence, non-violence, not only not killing somebody, but even at the brain level. So we covered all that in detail, ahimsa, asteya, uh, hmm, and brahmacharya and all that. And then the niyam, saucha, all those niyams that we covered. And where I said the difference came in when I was moving around in the Sayam courses, going into the groups of 10 that were there, was I realized that they were again discussing what Gurudev talked on Yam and Niyam, or trying to explain Yam and Niyam. No, that was the process you had to do, where you had to see where you were at on a scale of 1 to 10 in the Yam and Niyam. So that how you would progress now, going wherever you were at, make further progress. So that really would come. And that non-accumulation, asteya, all those properties which were discussed in Yam. And really, that is so important. This abhyasa is so important in the beginning stage in Sayyam 1. And then there was a form given, if you remember, that you had to fill up and you had to give. That was discussed. So then we went into asanas, where we were doing in Sayyam 1 at least 6 rounds of asanas, Padma Sadhana, every day, along with Sahaj being repeated. So, and then in Sahaj, the mantras were added on. Pranayam, we were doing our 3-stage pranayam, Nadi Sodhan pranayam regularly, and we were doing our entire Sudarshan Kriya every day. It was part of our morning sadhana. Pratyahar was where Gurudev took you through certain processes, concentrating on the eyebrow center, visualizing something that he told you to, and then he took you through that. Same thing with Dharana, Dhyana. There are a lot of people here who may not have done Sayyam 1. So I won't repeat, but there were a lot of meditations where he put you into Samadhi. The Kayot Sarga process of meditation, where you felt your body very heavy and going into the earth, or when you felt your body very light and you were floating in space. All those meditations were wonderful. If you felt wonderful in Sayyam 1, God knows what you will need to expect in Sayyam 2. So next slide. And then in Vairagya, we explained what is upper, and this I already covered just now only. This Samveg and Ishwar Pranidhan was what I was saying. Samveg is where you have Tivra Samveg, means there also you have Mood, Madhyam and Tivra. So how how fast you want to attain. So that is up to you, like how lively you are, how energetic you are, how you want to grow on the spiritual path. That is a way. And then I explained to you that मजा भी आता है, लाभ भी होता है, और सुरक्षा भी feel करते हैं in satsang, when you have a Sadguru in your life. मजा not by going to a beer bar or hookah bar, protected not when you enter into a shelter when there is an earthquake, but in the presence of maja aata hai when you go to visit Gurudev at the airport at 2:30 in the night. That kind of enthusiasm that you have, that is a way. And then you are so full of devotion, there is so much of Shraddha in you, faith in you, that you are surrendered to the divine. You surrender to the Gurudev. That is what we are talking about here. So then you jump from apar vairagya to par vairagya. In par vairagya, then there is no, you're moving around in the sansar, mithya jagat, but there is no attachment at all whatsoever. All the karmas that you're doing is also just doing it because you have to do something. Like Gurudev has come here to bring a smile on everyone's face. So he is carrying out, he is performing his duties, his karmas in that fashion that I talked about. And there is no karma fall at all. It's Niswat Seva that he keeps doing. Yeah, next. Then Abhyasa is like that, with logic, it is very tough. to deal with the vrittis that are always the modulation that go on in our mind. And the modulations are there because we are in this world and people's situation on objects bother us. So as I said, the vrittis are like a whirlpool, like a bhavanda. They are not like steady waves flowing in an ocean. And when you have vairagya, the samadhi path that you take, the meditation, the dhyana that you do, the dharana, dhyana, and samadhi sthiti that you read, that gives direction to the vrittis. They naturally stop from running towards worldly matter. You're fully on the path of spirituality. And I had shown you the diagram where the river goes on flowing. There may be a big boulder that comes in its path, but there is no conflict. It simply flows over the boulder. And just imagine what is happening to the boulder. Every time the water is flowing over the years over the boulder is only becoming smoother and smoother. If you compare your ego to the boulder, who is getting washed out? Where is the veil of ignorance being lifted? The river water flowing is like the knowledge flowing of spirituality. And finally, it goes and meets with the ocean where it becomes one with the divine. Next. And then the vibhutis are where the skill sets that you get when you enter into samadhi. Dharana, dhyana, samadhi is equal to Sayyam. In one word, it is called Sayyam. So Sayyam part 1 was all about Dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Also, of course, Gurudev had to make you go through Yam, Niyam, and all that till you become perfect in that. So every day you need to watch now your own awareness levels. Are you having violence even from the mind level? That is very important for you to do. Then we talked about the vrittis, the modulations, the mind, the what happens, and how through following the abhyas and vairagya, you can change the painful vrittis also into pleasant vrittis. And then why painful vrittis are there is when rajas and tamas are dominant. When they are predominant, then the oscillations keep on going on, and always the person is attracted to the world. Cravings and aversions are there for him. And then in the pleasant vrittis is when sattva is dominant. We went through that whole gamut. I explained in full detail about how sattva becomes predominant when you go into samadhi, when you follow your abhyas of yam niyam, when you're doing your padma sadhana regularly, that veil of ignorance is becoming thinner and thinner till when you go into parvairagya, in nirvikalp, nirbit samadhi, then there is nothing left. That the veil of ignorance is completely destroyed. I remember in January when Guruji again took the Patanjali Yoga Sutras and he went through about 27 verses in the 3 days. The first thing he talked about Patanjali, the veil, the curtain that was there between the disciples and the Guru that was sitting giving the knowledge. And then the curtain burned down. That part got left out. Though the script was sent to us, that part got left out. What Gurudev said, that it is the veil of ego being burned down. When the ego is gone, then only you can go over to the self. So only when you can overcome ego, go beyond the ego. And Yam and Niyam helps you in going there. When you follow all the principles that are there in Yam and Niyam. Then that full, what we did in advanced course, Viveka, nothing is permanent, everything is changing. So that which is changing is asatya, untruth, lies as we call them. So don't take it to be the truth. And what is satya is that which is never changing. And what is not changing, the Atma is not changing. The universal consciousness has always been there, it will always be there, it's infinite. Ajar, Amar, all those qualities that Dr. Brahmra has talked about. Next slide. Then we talked about the states of the mind. And then always it is asking for proof and how the proof can be got from direct experience. then by guessing, and by the knowledge from the scriptures. But very necessary that the knowledge you are receiving is somebody from like Gurudev, or you are receiving this knowledge from Nanaji. That way, that kind of a guru you require. You see, there are so many people, you see, even in these TED Talks, there are people who are out to impress you. So there are this type of people also who will allow you to keep your weaknesses. Or you are getting angry, it's okay to be angry, but you are in the presence of a master. So it's okay. You're on the right path of spirituality. No, that is not correct. That kind of person who wants to impress you is not the correct master for you. It has to be somebody who is not bothered about impressing you at all. It has to be a Satguru who's giving you this knowledge, because he'll want you to grow from where you are to a higher state of being, where you finally realize he is not bothered about being goody-goody with you. He doesn't want anything from you. His only interest lies in making you a better person. He's on the path of spirituality. So you have to be completely giving yourself that Ishwar Pranidhan means you are completely surrendered to him. There is no doubts. 3 type of sanchay you did in advanced course. There is no doubts left in your mind. No sanchay on the guru, no sanchay on the technique, no sanchay on yourself. Everything is gone. You have full faith in the master. See again, those 5 principles of Astavakra Gita, Shraddha was one of them, isn't it? All that, see why you need to have that, then you can go to the higher knowledge that is there. And then we talked about Viparyaya, wrong understanding or wrong perception, then Vikalpa, delusion that you have, the knowledge about sleep, or you are tossing and turning, and that could also cause the disturbances in your mind. And smriti means memory, all past impressions which you have. The nature of the mind is to always concentrate on the negative, the unpleasant things that happen to you. And that change we bring about by this knowledge and our sadhana, daily sadhana, and make the klisht with vrittis turn into aklisht vrittis. Next slide. And then I explained the 5 states of the chitta. So where I compared it with the chakras also. And then I said the mood state is at the Muladhara chakra, where you are dull. If you remember, even in the advanced course, we talked about lethargy, inertia being there. But means it's full dullness at its peak over there in mood state. Shift state is restlessness, agitation that is there. Then Vikshift state is you are oscillating, where Rajas is predominant in you. So you are moving towards Sunstar, you are again disturbed. You are distracted. I want this object. I want a better car. I want iPhone 16 or whatever. So Vikshift state, you are still oscillating between Rajas and Sattva. Ekagrata is then only the traces of Rajas and Tamas are there. Sattva is predominating. And Niruddha Avastha is where then you have complete, the Sattva is only predominant. Maybe just traces of, but they can't overpower you at all. Nothing that happens in this world can move you. Whether it is very good music, you won't feel elated and joyful at it. You will feel one with it, that's all. Or some incident happens where somebody comes and curses you or speaks in a very violent tone with you. That will also not affect you. You remember that story which was told about somebody coming to Mahavir and spitting on his face. And then Mahavir still had his smile intact. And when he goes back, that man feels this thing. Okay, oh, this must be really a very true master. He did not allow his devotees to hit me also. He stopped them from being violent with me. And he must truly be great because I cursed him. I spat on him, yet his smile remained intact. And then when he comes to apologize the next day, then that Mahavir says that the person who spat on me was somebody else. Today you are a changed person. You are somebody different. So all those, there is a restraint over all the emotions that you have. You are in complete control. You can never allow any of the negative emotions to rise up you in again. And you are working always like a bundle of virtues. Oneness, compassion is there. You forgive people easily. All that happens in the Niruddha Avastha. That is reached when you get into Par Samadhi or Nirbit Samadhi or Nirvikalp Samadhi. So you are moving from seed Samadhi, where the seeds get fried due to the Vichar, Vitark, Asmita, Anand Samadhi that you are going, all the four differences we showed, and the seeds get fried completely. Now nothing can come up for you in the mind. A state of void, like I explained what Buddha felt. Nothing, nothingness. Hollow and empty, completely hollow and empty. And then you feel joyful. You're one with everybody. Yes, next slide. Here I explained to you, this was one thing that I connected and I explained in a very common terms what you could understand, that we have done in advanced course all these 7 chakras. And just to give you an analogy, I gave you the different energy units at different energy centers. And I compared it to rupees, like if somebody stole from you or borrowed from you, how would you feel if your energy levels would be in the lower chakras? And then when your energy levels are high at 1 crore and 10 crores, then all this is, and I had even given somewhere earlier when I was talking about Gurudev, I said that a pregnant lady was caught stealing and she would steal only all electronic equipments in the ashram, iPhones and Apple laptops and all those kind of things. And when she was finally, security was increased and security caught her. Then she was brought to Gurudev. And he said, tum peche ho, why are you stealing? You come to me, whatever you need, I will give you. And he gave her money, he gave her new saris, and he told her that whenever you want, you come and meet me and take from me. Don't rob her. And then he made her go away. That is that Nirodha Avastha, feeling one with everybody. You go to sleep in the satsang also, he will simply smile and move on. In meditation, you may go into sleep and you may start snoring. He will not scold you, nothing. He is beyond all that. So when you have that high energy levels, like Gurudev has, then the way you function, the way in which we think, that will change. As I said, what we have when somebody cheats us or there is a clash between volunteers, then there is anger coming up. I did so much of seva, but I did not get to sit in the front row in front of Gurudev. All these people who are all goody-goody with Gurudev get to sit in the front row. Those who know the secretariat or those people, they get to sit in the front row. All those kind of thoughts coming up. What is the use of going to the ashram? You are going to harbor all those kind of thoughts, even after going there. Why don't you realize that all the people are also finally human beings and everyone is growing? Even teachers are growing at their own pace. At least they are on the path. They are swimming with the current. The river will finally meet with the ocean. Just realize that everybody is at a different path of growth. And from there, instead of being angry, you get into forgiveness. And that forgiveness finally becomes love for that person with whom you even had a clash. So this energy chart I showed you is merely a depiction of how you reach that higher levels. So see, all our efforts have to be, whether you do Sanyam 1 or Sanyam 2, has to be getting into that higher and higher brackets to operate from the higher chakra levels, to go beyond the, when you get to the heart level, Anahat chakra as we call it, at least you have reached, there yoga starts, they say. Your journey begins on the spiritual path. Till that time, you will still harbor thoughts of violence against others. You will still sit in judgment. Anahat emotions are there, no? on the heart chakra. Where do you feel emotions? In the heart region, isn't it? So when you keep on taking your Sahaj mantra from the heart region with a faint feeling from the heart, take your mantra. So all that is so important. Do you see what Gurudev has given to us by way of our sadhana? It's so important to follow it correctly. Then you will reach the higher every day through daily practice. Every day by watching your mind, you will reach higher and higher chakras and then reach that Nirodha Avastha through that. So with knowledge and through your sadhana, you will reach that Nirodha Avastha as it is called. Next. Even the next slide is giving the same energy units, I think. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, same energy units it is giving. It is giving, that was a figure, a diagram depiction. This is also showing how many energy units you have. And then I talked about the next slide also I already covered, Tarak Guru. One, जो तुम्हें तार लेता है. One who picks you up from the puddle that you are in, from the ditch that you are in, and like you become like a lotus which grows in a puddle, but he picks you up. That is the work of the Sadguru. He uplifts you so much that you move from all the negative emotions to finally to Prem ki Parakashtha, as is talked about in Narad Bhakti Sutras. Yeah, and this science of Om, I just said that even if you look at it scientifically, with Gurudev says that where science ends, spirituality begins. So even there, and Gurudev says Patanjali is one of the greatest scientists on earth. So all this Big Bang theory and all that also, there was darkness. Initially, there was only darkness and only darkness. And then came light and all that. And with light came everything. So this was just a diagramical depiction of the Big Bang, which I picked up from, which one of my volunteers picked up from Google. And the next slide was important, where we talked about correlating it with the Big Bang, how this works. Like the first circle is creation. Then the second circle is showing you, next slide, sustenance. Sustenance, as is called, the second slide. The third slide is showing you the destruction. Next slide. Yeah. And now here we talk about destruction. So we talked about creation. Pra is creation. Yesterday also I explained it. Now is sustenance. And Va is vinash. Vinash means destruction. So that from sound, Om, or from the symbol. The symbol is in consonant with the Big Bang theory. And Om, if you chant Om also, you get the same results. So this explains everything in detail over here, how the Om sound comes about. And the dot at the top is when you reach the Nirodha Avastha, where you feel one with everything, the wholeness, the oneness with everything. Next slide. On the path, yeah, this is over now. The next slide. On the path of yoga.
Just wanted to add here that over here we have this, the number 6 is the veil of ignorance. So that has to also move. And
yes,
that is what we've learned in Atma Bodh and Bhagavad Gita, that it is through jnana. That is the last step, final step before we reach that oneness.
The Maya is lifted here. The veil of Maya is lifted.
Ignorance is lifted. Yeah. Thank you.
And then the 9 obstacles which are there.
Dr. Ramrao, do you mind showing that slide where that move, those 5 stages connected with that the chakra? Sorry, I know we went back there before that.
One earlier one.
Yeah, this one. The below and the one. Yeah, the next one. This one. Yeah. So here you put Mula and Shakti is up to the Manipura. I wasn't sure which one was which issue. And the Ekagra is the Vishuddhi and above.
See,
Got it.
Vikshipt is in the heart region. If you see all the emotions,
Mm.
whether they be positive or negative. So we say na in Vikshipt, there is
You
like a
said it was
pendulum, like a
oscillating.
yo-yo.
Oh,
Sorry?
okay, yeah. You
That
said
pendulum.
oscillating Rajoguna, right?
Yeah,
Vishuddhi.
oscillating. It is like a
Oscillate.
pendulum, oscillating. Like a yo-yo,
Okay.
you go from one to the other. So sansar, adhyatma, sansar, adhyatma, sansar, adhyatma. So
Mm.
that is that Vikshipt state. Hmm?
Okay, got it.
Like a
So
pendulum.
what is the Asmita means that the next slide you
Asmita,
showed?
Asmita was I am somebody.
Oh,
Through the path of meditation, when you go through this, you come when you are reaching samadhi level, then you become I am nobody.
oh, okay.
Not that I am nobody from that inferior status, because in
Okay.
ego there are two states, superior and
Mm.
inferior. Inferior
Mm-hmm.
state, feeling yourself to be, oh, Gurudev is so this thing, and I am such a small little, I'm like a worm. All those kind of
Right.
things also is inferior ego. So neither that
Mm.
is also not there. I am
Mm.
nobody is the kind of thing, that void situation that Buddha felt. What you feel after
Mm.
hollow and empty in advanced course,
Okay,
a
okay.
state
Mm.
of nothingness that is there. And then you feel
Mm.
so joyful, you become I am everybody. That oneness feeling comes. That is the Nirodha Avastha. You become a bundle of virtues. When you do seva, you want to run and do seva. You're so joyful.
Mm.
There is no conflict left in you. Otherwise, you see, even during seva, he did this, he did that, this, that. So much of every time we are doing all this problem
Mm.
solving, when we are going on tour also, all these sevaks come and they are at that lower level of growth. That Nirodha Avastha has still not come into them.
Mm. Okay, got it.
That
Thank
is
you.
very important. So how we are swung with our emotions, how anger comes up, even when you are even in the ashram, which is heaven on earth, you want to sit in the front row and your mind gets disturbed. So that is all asmita, the
Yeah,
presence of
thank you. You are giving so much detail, like guidance, in like for even the thought process, what we should do, and how we should think properly. Like that example you gave was really nice. The people sitting in the front and you're thinking about them is not going to make any. That happens most of the time. Like people who are like president or somebody, even the temple, the board committee, they want to be in the front rather than, even if you're in the front, they then we think about all that. Now we make it make sense. Yeah.
I'll just go a little step further in this. In
Uh,
once we were in Vignan Bhairav, and I had gone to the head honcho, a CEO of a company.
mm,
He makes all this advertisements that come up, like you see shampoo ads and all that. But he is at a level where he makes for Mercedes cars and all those kind of things. So he makes ads. It's a very big company. So the highest ticket for Vignan Bhairav was 50,000 rupees. And he said that I will buy it from you if you sit in next to me. I said, no, I'm going to buy a 10,000 ticket only. I can't be in that enclosure with you. So he said, no, I will pay for you, but you have to sit with me. So then I had to agree to that. And he bought my ticket in for Vignan Bhairav and we sat there. And there was an enclosure beyond that where all the Apex members and the trustees were sitting. So he asked me, how do I get into that front enclosure? So being a head honcho also, then very nicely explained to them that these Apex members and the trustees are the people who are doing the highest level of seva, like all the donations that they get for International Association for Human Values, all the work that they do in all the projects, like we have Jal Abhiyan, water bodies, reviving water bodies and all that which is there. All these things, the work in the villages, they get to sit there. So only giving money as donation, you won't get to sit. Then you'll reach here. But if you do seva like this, you get to sit in that enclosure, is what I told him. Explained to him nicely, but he got the point.
That's very nice. Thank you.
So all these trustees who sit in the temple they are doing working for the temple. They are doing seva for the temple, na? So they get to sit there. So every time you will, whatever type of seva you do. I once went to NCPA is one of the, in Nariman Point, next to the Taj President. There is a very big auditorium. And I was simply taken by the people, the organizers and teachers, and made to sit right in the front row. My seva was at its peak at that time. I don't know. I had even gone in my working clothes like kurta pajama. I had not changed into something nice also. And I was sitting right in the front row. And Vikram knows me very well. And he smiled. I was just dressed in very ordinary clothes. I just came out of seva and I was taken there. So sometimes you're deserving and you get there, and sometimes, I don't know, you may not get there. So what? Why should your mind get disturbed? So
Thank
even
you.
now correlate and collate all this knowledge even with your worldly life, that where they say like yam mein, like ahimsa,
Mhm.
children leave their rooms messy. Teenagers will be like that. I mean, it is universal. Why you don't want to accept that? Why you want your mind to get disturbed? Only your mind is getting disturbed now. When Gurudev
Right.
is saying that others are not the cause of your sorrow, your own mind is the cause of your negative emotions. From that, you understand your maid servant comes late or she takes a lot of holidays. She does not come on certain days, especially when there are going to be guests. They play hooky. All that is going to happen. That is the world. How best you respond in such situations? Hmm. Yeah, especially when you are cooking, if you are going to be disturbed negatively, then what will be the food that you cook? We say cook when you are cooking, you are prayerful, you chant some mantras, you are in a happy state of mind. Then the food that is going into the body also will give you that the person who's eating the food also a happy state of mind. How pure you have to be, not physically or just like taking bath, but mentally pure. But if you're cooking with a disturbed mind, what will that food do? What disturbance it will cause inside your body and mind of the person who's eating it? So every walk of life, whatever we are doing, how we are applying this knowledge in our practical life now, that is important. All these 3 years we have been together. When are we going to implement this knowledge? Now that is very important. Yeah, can we go back to sorry, I don't mean to.
No problem. The moment we are in asmita, me, mine, automatically what comes up is comparison.
Yes.
You start comparing. You see the other and then you start comparing yourself. So you either go up, you feel superior, or you feel inferior. That samatva is not there. Whereas in that asmitanugama samadhi, you go beyond that meanness and minus. From somebody to nobody and to everybody.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Brahma.
We covered all this. There are the 9 obstacles that come in the path of your abhyas. And like some people say, I was not feeling well, so I did not do my Padma Sadhana. I did not move my stretches and rotations. And that is your Vyadi, the first one, physical disease. And Gurudev has very clearly said that when you're feeling ill, do your Kriya twice a day. You can do your Kriya twice a day when you're not feeling well. And what excuse we give? I did not do Kriya today because I was not feeling well. So see the difference that is there. And I say you call yourself a devotee when you don't even listen to your master, a sadhak, a shishya, a sadhak. That there is so much of a difference between that. The difference between a shishya, a sadhak, and a bhakt. So a student, a disciple, and a devotee. And we call ourselves devotees when we don't even listen to what the words of a master. We do not follow his knowledge. So when you are ill, you should not give the excuse of not doing your kriya. You should be doing it twice a day. Sthanya means dullness that comes to you. And I did not get up in the morning, then I had to rush to work, so I could not do my kriya. Then sanshay is doubt. Pramad is carelessness, like what teenagers are there. So see how this is an obstacle to their growth. Now see, you accept it, that they are careless. Now, won't children be careless? They trip, they fall, and that is a part of growth or not? Only if they stumble and fall will they learn how to walk, is a saying in English. Do you understand that? Now, so they have to know. Otherwise, if you hold on to them like you hold a dog on a leash, then they will not stumble and fall. Then how will they learn to walk? How long will you hold on to the leash? Let go of the leash. Let them run amok. Give them good value systems. Sanskar de do. Alasya is procrastination. I'll do it later. Then somebody came visiting. I had to cook food in the daytime. Then somebody came visiting. Oh, so today I missed doing my kriya. Virati is sensuality. All the senses, the sense organs. How long are you going to be in that? Bhranti darshan is false perceptions. Alag Bhumit Tattva is missing the point. And the last one is Anavasthitvani, inability to stay in a higher plane. Like you move, you progress on the path, and like Gurudev says, you move 10 steps forward, you move 8 steps, but you will not be able to move backwards fully, completely. Maybe 8 steps, but not completely. So that is that state where you are unable to stay on a higher plane. So you are in knowledge, but then you again falter and fall. You get angry, you get disturbed, like I gave all the examples. So these are the obstacles that are there. And what follows are the 4 states that come, dormanasya, dukkha. The next slide, that is, you will see in the next slides. Dukkha, sorrow that is there, despair, nirasha, restlessness, angameva jayate, and the agitation that is there, your breath changes. So, quiver-free breath that Gurudev talks about, all that in the 7 levels he has gone and he has talked about the different these things. How your body should be, your breath should be, your mind should be, your right up in the ego. All that. So the breathing pattern also changes along with the emotions that are there. So this is what follows when you have those 9 obstacles coming to you. And what is the this thing? The way to it is through the control of your breath when you are doing your pranayams, etc. Next slide. When you do your sadhana. And then I explained to you, I even took you through a small meditation where you close your eyes and you watch your breath, moving upwards, moving downwards, and then you are applying just the inner lock and you're feeling the Mooladhara getting stronger. It's just when you apply the locks, you're not allowing the energy to go out. See, the whole body is porous. Every cell in the body is porous. So, like if you see your skin also, like Guruji says, it's like a fishing net under a microscope. So every cell is porous in your body. So from cosmic energy, from the environment, the energy that is coming inside your body, through your nostrils, you are taking it in, it is moving. And when you apply the locks, whether it is in Sri Stage Pranayam, or when you are doing advanced course and you do your Bhastrika Pranayam and you apply the Mahabandha, as we call it, the 3 locks that we apply, all this, you are strengthening the energy in the chakras. You are locking means what? You are locking the energy up. You are not allowing the energy to flow out. For some more time, you are holding the energy into your body. And then see, like if you see in the advanced course, when you are holding it, the throat lock is there, the navel lock is there, and the anus lock is there. So when you apply this lock, these 3 centers are in play. You are applying the locks to the centers. The energy moving from the Mooladhara to the Vishuddhi chakra takes care of all the systems that are there in your body. Your respiratory system, your digestive system, your circulatory system, your excretory system, your reproductory system. Every system that is there in your body is taken care of through these energy centers which are predominant in your body. And the energy remains there. That means what? All your systems are getting strengthened. Are you seeing what it is doing at the physical level also? And when the energy rises from the Muladhara, it has got its 10 units, it moves through the Sushumna Nari into the Swadhisthana and then through the Manipur, higher levels of energy. So then that is also making your mind stable. You're getting to that, you're growing on the path. Once you cross the anahat, then you will not sit like I refuse to now sit in judgment over anybody, whether it be Putin or Benjamin Netanyahu or anybody or what Pakistan is doing. I am not going to put my mind to that. Okay, it's a happening that has happened. Or how best, if Gurudev tells me, go and do some seva there, I will go and do it. Whatever best I can do, I can talk to people here to get them be in a happy state of mind, I will do that. So I am not going to be disturbed. I am not going to sit in judgment over all these people who are creating havoc in this world, so-called havoc. I realize that Mahesh has a part to play, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. There has to be destruction in order for something new to be created. That is how my mind will work. So when we are controlling our breath, I talked about Purak, Rechak, and Kumbhak, inhalation, exhalation, holding the breath inside your body and holding the breath outside your body. I was watching a small clip sometime back and it was explaining that you start with holding your breath just 20 seconds outside your body, 30 seconds, and see how you keep progressing, go up to 40 seconds. Like that, see how long you can hold your breath and what changes it brings to your physical state as well as mental state. Somebody was explaining it, somebody from the Western world, some scientist had done some research on it and he was explaining it. So these ancient scriptures that are there, Patanjali, Gurudev is not just simply saying it. He was the best scientist on earth. Forget Nobel Prize. He is much beyond Nobel Prize. The first Nobel Prize winner, scientist who won it, he said matter and then all the sodium sulfate, H2SO4 and all the formulas we got. So he talked about matter and molecules and atoms. And now the last one who got it is saying matter is not matter, it is energy vibrating at different frequencies. So science, it will keep on changing. And you just need to remember that what is changing is not the truth. And so now we have come to realize that matter is not matter. It is energy vibrating. What Patanjali said years back, thousands of years back. So these 3 slides were on that inhalation and exhalation and the Sushumna Nadi. This is some slide was made by some volunteers who actually the way the Ida and Pigla moves is not like this. It moves in a coil fashion. Someday I think I will bring that figure also out. How it actually moves. This was just to show the right and left channel. So I drew it like that and then that slide was made like that. Actually, it is not straight like this at all. Huh? One day, maybe somebody will, I may have a photograph of how the energy moves in the right and left channel. And see, if you see the blue and the red that is shown, that is the Ida and the Pingla which is there. And it's a Nadi. So there is space inside it. That is the energy moves inside. The arrows are just a way of depiction to show that it is moving downwards or it is flowing upwards. But the energy is moving inside. And when it is moving like a spiral, it is literally like a spiral. So it will move upwards and downwards like a spiral. And where they join together, the Ida and the Pingla, the hollow in between is the Sushumna Nadi, as it is called. And the energy, so what we call the centripetal and the centrifugal force, maybe some of you are doctors and all that, so you have studied science in great detail. Whatever as a student I studied in school, I remember in college. So I'm telling you how that energy flows towards the center or away from the center. So one is called centripetal, is called moving away from the center, and the centrifugal is moving towards the center. Efferent and AFFERENT and efferent, EFFERENT, efferent. Maybe Dr. Brahmra can shed more light on that. I am not too good with all my physics, chemistry. I have forgotten all that now. Just a faint memory of all this. But it comes, some of it comes back when I explain. And then the benefits of samadhi I explained to you yesterday. All the... See, the last point is very important. Obstacles of karmic clouds disappear. Have you understood this point? What past karmas you have done, the impressions you carried, the karmas you carried from past births, even that can be washed out here. What do you mean by liberation, moksha? Not moksha, actually, kaivalya. You need not get into newer births. You need not be born again. That entire, that is when the karmic clouds have completely disappeared. There are no karmic clouds at all now. You won't come back if you reach that level. Virtues blossom from the heart. You become a bundle of virtues. You feel that oneness with everybody. You want to forgive everybody. You have so much of love and compassion in your heart for everybody. And then talents manifest in you such that all that your intentions are manifested. In all the work that you do in any field, that whether you're doing seva or in the sansar, in the worldly, whatever you are employed in, you'll be successful there also. Mind no more remains problem-oriented, it becomes solution-oriented. And then you experience peace completely. The next slide shows in general the entire pathway, as we call it, and the destination. And the song that I was singing is योग से आरंभ हो और योग ही परिणाम हो. Parinam is samadhi. Arambh is going from the chit to the samadhi state where you feel oneness with everybody. Yeah? You become a bundle of virtues. That union is there with the divine for you. The only way is through this path of knowledge and abhyasa. And Vairagya. Vairagya is all the different samadhi sthitis that I showed you. And going from upper to par is through Ishwar Pranidhan and no, not that, the earlier slide only, and Tivra Savveg. And when you have that so much of devotion for Gurudev or the divine or any Kul Devta of your choice that you are worshipping, all that, when you have that, the gati is so tivra, means the speed, you want to progress on the path. There is so much of enthusiasm to progress on this path at a very speedy rate. And also you accept everybody just the way they are on the path also. You don't say they are inferior to you or you are at this level or something like that. You want everybody to grow. Like we go, we are taken by the Apex members and we go, say, I'm from Maharashtra, so I'm taken to all the different places in Maharashtra. And then we go and talk to the teachers and we say, how can we help you to grow? We show them their performance, like a particular place, say like if Bombay, So Bombay, what is the performance in Bombay? How many courses happened? How many participants came to the course in 1 year's time? What were the earlier years? All that feedback, we make slides and take it. And then how can we do better than this? So we have grown by so much percentage every year. Now your base is bigger. So how can we grow still further? So how can we help you? What do you need to grow? So if they need money to put up banners, posters, whatever way they want to have bigger courses. Same way in rural areas, you want to bring busloads of people to one center and have courses for them. Okay, we'll help you hire the buses. You want money for that, we'll give it to you. And then clear the differences which are there. They have so many issues that they had with each other while doing seva. So all that is also there that comes up for them. And then we do all this problem solving for them. But we accept them. See, they are the people who are working at the ground level. Sometimes they say, we are working at the ground level. What do you know? They will turn around and tell the apex members, you are sitting in air-conditioned offices. That may be okay, but they're doing seva, no? So let them be okay. They don't have that correct way of talking or the correct attitude, as we call it. That okay, no? Let them be rough. If we go down to their level and then also we do insa from the mind and we also talk to them in a crude manner, then what would be the difference between us and them? They're growing, no? First, accept it that they're growing. So let them grow. Don't kill their space for assisting. Never kill a space for a sevak to do seva. Same thing in the office environment or where you're leading a team in the office or at home where you're leading a group of people who are your family members. See, your attitude has to change. You have to change this. You have to feel this oneness. No blaming at all. Yes, you can be firm with them. You can be strict with them. The action that a person does is wrong. The person is not bad. The action he did is bad. Same thing with children. Teenagers may try out a drink or two. They may take a beer or two. Everybody drank, so I drank. But they're truthful. They're coming to you, no? Otherwise, then they will stop coming and telling you the truth. This is where it starts. They stop vibing with you, bonding with you. They don't tell you their secrets anymore. They are not able to understand their own body. So many hormonal changes happening. They can't understand their body. How will they understand what you are trying to say? Why can't you give them that allowance? You also went through that phase, didn't you? You simply did not touch 40, 50, 60. You went through that phase. Come on. So all this when we do, we finally reach. I think that covers it all. This other stage where we showed how it is. Yeah, we covered all this. This is very important. I am nothing to I am everything. So from I am something to I am nothing. Through these sadhanas, you come to that I am nothing state. The earliest slides may have shown I am something, but I am nothing to I am everything. From the void, you move to oneness with everybody. That's it. All the best for your Sayam course. All those who have gone for it. Sadhana, Seva, Satsang. Thank you for patiently listening to me.
Thank you so much, Percy ji, for again going through all of this and revising the whole thing. We'll end with a meditation. Do you want to conduct the meditation or should I play one of Gurudev's?
Play in Gurudev's voice. That would be the ideal thing.
Okay.
You can say your prayer and
Yes, we'll do that. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishnarpanamastu. That is their thank you.
Let us sit comfortably, easily. First, let us shake our hands. Shake our hands, and then let's keep our hands on our lap, or however you feel comfortable. And let's close our eyes. Let's keep our spine erect and body relaxed. We came into this planet weighing just 4 kilos or 5 kilos. Recollect or remember the weight of your body. It is 60 kilos, 70 kilos, whatever that is. Place your weight on the chair or on the floor you are sitting right at this point. Let's take a deep breath in. Hold the breath and let go. Honor your own body. Your body is the precious gift to you from nature. Become aware of your whole body. Skins, tissues, muscles, blood vessels, bones, and all the internal organs. Your body is a precious gift to you. Now let us come to the second dimension, your breath. It is our breath that is keeping our body alive. Your body is alive because of your breath. Take a deep breath in and let go. Incoming breath energizes the body, and outgoing breath brings relaxation. This is happening all the time. Let us honor our own breath. Become aware of the air all around you. Like fish in the water, we are in air. Relax more and more. Let's take our attention to the top of the head and become aware of the empty space above our head. Become aware of the space in the entire room that you are sitting. Embrace all the thoughts, pleasant or unpleasant, good or bad. Become aware of a point right in the center of your heart, center of your chest. And take a deep breath in and breathe out and relax even more. As the body relaxes, the mind expands. And as the mind expands, your body finds deep relaxation. This moment is nothing to do and nothing to know either. Just let go and relax. Repose in yourself. You are a fountain of love. You are an ocean of peace. Repose in yourself. Take a deep breath in with a smile and breathe out with a smile. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So as you breathe out, you may open your eyes.